City of Temples, Mahabalipuram is also known as Mamalapuram. It is in the Kanchipuram district of the Tamil Nadu state, India. It is on the Coromandel coast of the Bay of Bengal. The city is famous for its engravings on the stones. Mahabalipuram is about 60 kilometers south of Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Our lunch is done, and one thing you must be aware of here is Mahabalipuram is, most of the temples are open between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. And so we are now going to be hurrying up to see whatever temples that we can see during this 3 hours that we have now. It's almost 3 p.m. now. Starting point of this temple, the shore temple that we call it as. I believe there is an entry ticket for 35 rupees which we can just scan and pay over there. All is online. See the beautiful view around the shore temple. The ticket we purchased earlier for 35 rupees per head, we need to show it here. One more good thing about this ticket is that you need to buy this once, and this ticket is going to be valid across all the monuments that you would be visiting in Mahabalipuram. The shore temple was built during 700 to 728 AD on the shore of Bay of Bengal and has stood the test of times. Once a busy village port of Mahabalipuram is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1984 in Tamil Nadu. Watch my another video on Shore Temple which gives you the historical connect of this place and lot of other interesting information. Just click on the link above. This is the beautiful Bay of Bengal. Shore Temple is built using the granite stones, and it is one of the oldest stone temples in South India built by the Pallavas. It is one of the famous structural stone temples. The entire temple is built of cut stones rather than a single monolithic rock like the Pandava Chariots. Shore Temple was famously known as the Seven Pagodas among the sailors in the past, as this structure standing on the seashore acted as a site for navigating their ships. The name Seven Pagodas indicate to the existence of 7 temples. Now only the Shore Temple remains to tell the tales of the past. The remaining 6 temples remain submerged in the devastating tsunami that hit this area in the 13th century, I believe. Shore Temple looks like a chariot from a distance. It is believed that the Shore Temple resembles the structure of the Dharmaraja Rath. This is a very old water tank, and this was primarily used for the rainwater harvesting. The 2 shrines in the Shore Temple are dedicated to Lord Shiva. The third and the small temple is dedicated to Lord Vishnu. If at all you are visiting this place, visit during the evening hours as the sunset here is beautiful. On one side we have this most photographed monument. The Shore Temple was built facing the east so that the first rays of the sun falls directly on the Shivalinga inside the shrine. On a minimum you would need an hour to see this beautiful place. But if you really want to explore and find out more in detail, that would depend upon you. Now we'll head towards the Pancharatha or the 5 chariots. There you would also need a minimum of 45 minutes to an hour to see this structure. Five Chariots is roughly 1.5 km from the shore temple. You can walk down if you have the time or take an auto. The autos will charge you anything between 30 to 40 rupees. This is the 5 Pandava chariots, also called as the Pandava Ratha. As the name suggests, these are named after the Pandavas, and also there is a chariot named after their wife Draupadi. This is a monolithic structure. What it means is that the entire premises is carved out of one single rock. Yes, you heard me right, one single rock. Even though these chariots all look like different structures, they are carved out of that single gigantic rock. Imagine what could have been the size of that rock and how the people during those times would have carved this. If you have to believe the archaeologists, they say it was entirely carved out of chisel and the hammer. I am sure there must be something more to it. To carve this structure, the only way to do it would be to start from the top of the rock and carve out tons and tons of rock. Just chisel and hammer really surprises us, and really appreciate the patience, hard work and the ingenuity of the artisans of those periods. Marvelous structure they have produced, and it still stands as an example of the best finely engraved structures. There are a lot more of finer details that are covered in my another video. I can bet on that you would have not known them before. So just click on the link above to enrich your knowledge about the structure. This is the Nakul and Sahadev Ratha. The smallest chariot is named after Draupadi. This Ratha is the Arjuna Ratha. This is the Bhim Raja Ratha. Just look at the engravings on the walls. This is the Dharmaraja Ratha. This is the biggest of them all. Once again, all this is carved out of a single rock. The life-sized elephant structure carved out of that gigantic rock. Oof. This is the backside view of the chariots. When you look in between the chariots, you may find many rocks and looks like the work was still unfinished. Once again, these are the engravings on the Dharmaraja Rath.
Now we are taking a walk to the
Lighthouse.
From the shore temple. It is around a kilometer. We decided to go by walk and explore the place. See the carving on the huge boulder of the rock. Let me take you near that.
Arjuna's penance, or the descent of the Ganges, is what this structure is popularly known as. It depicts the penance of King Bhagirath to bring Ganges to the earth. Watch my video on the origin of Ganges by clicking on the link above. Trust me, it's not just the lighthouse that we are walking towards. There are many interesting monuments that you will see with me, so just stay tuned. Here we will see the old lighthouse, the new lighthouse, Mahishamardini Mandapa, Olakkannesvara Temple, Rajagopuram, Rockkatvara Temple and the most famous Krishna's Butterball. There are still a few more monuments. We will just have a look while we are on the way. A grand majestic view of this ancient structure. Olakkannesvara Temple is what it is called as. They also call it as the Ishvara Temple here at Mahabalipuram. Our friends will be here to welcome everyone. Just a few steps to climb. A very beautiful, mesmerizing view of the sunset. The view looks like someone has placed a small square cherry on top of a hill. That's the view of the new lighthouse. Now we quickly go down as the premises would be closed by 6 p.m. and we still have a lot to see and walk. That's the Mahishamardini rock cut mandapa, one of the most intricately carved in the Mahabalipuram monuments. Click on the link above to watch this in detail and don't miss the details please. I will however quickly take you around now. Rock cut Vara Temple, Draupadi's bath. We may not be able to get here as it is getting dark and we are still yet to see the Krishna's Butterball, something that you should not miss. This is the Rajagopuram. It is an incomplete structure as you see. This is the rock cut Vara Temple. This is all done during the Pallava King Narasimha Varman. Looks like now we are nearing the Krishna's Butterball. It was a long walk indeed. This is the Ganesha Ratha, at least a living temple, and I see puja being performed here. Good to see. This is the most famous Krishna's Butterball. When you look at this rock now, you feel that it may slide down any moment. This itself is a mystery how this rock is standing in this position over centuries. Do watch my video on this Krishna's Butterball as you would be amazed to hear that even 7 elephants together could not even move this rock an inch from this sliding position. There will be a lot of details in that video as to how this defies the rules of science also. These 8 monuments are in one complex and you will need a minimum of 2 hours.